Hello, and thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Kyle Rogers.
And I'm Emily O'Shea. This semester is flying by. It's hard to believe it's already time for fall break.
Well, before you head out of town for the break, we have all the latest SHIP news. Senate has made their decision. EDDR's hours of operation will not change. 2 weeks ago, Student Senate President Comfort Dixon told SUTV Senate would find a way to get the students' opinion.
We're going to do surveys. We're going to talk about it. I have my senators constantly bringing it up in classrooms. Just talk about it to see what they feel, because honestly, we don't want to inconvenience the students.
The day after the meeting, President Dixon made the announcement. Though Senate did not go public with the announcement, Comfort said that the senators unanimously agreed on the decision. Students are encouraged to voice their opinions on EDDR on our Facebook page. Billowing smoke filled the air in Shippensburg yesterday afternoon. A storage shed caught fire. Crews spent hours battling the blaze on Gilbert Road. That's about 5 miles from campus. Investigators say burning ashes ignited the fire around 2 o'clock. Peggy Myers' shed stored 2 campers, 3 cars and tractors, plus 4 tons of coal.
How did you react?
Oh, I was scared. I ran over to my brother-in-law's and hollered for him to call 911 because I knew I couldn't get it out.
Everything in the shed was destroyed. No one was injured. Meanwhile, the fire on Gilbert Road reminds us that just a little burning ash can lead to a dangerous, destructive blaze.
Obviously, you don't want to leave a fire unattended when you're burning outside, particularly on a windy day such as today would be the biggest thing.
Firefighters across the country will kick off Fire Prevention Week in a couple days. Shippensburg Lowe's will host a safety day this weekend. 30 fire trucks from area fire departments will be on hand. Plus, you can get a tour of Lifeline. That's the medical helicopter. Those firefighters will also compete against each other in a car cutting challenge. Safety day is from 9 to 3 on Saturday. Coming up on SUTV News, there's holes all over campus. Find out why.
And Wall Street is making headline news. Luke Martin has the story next.
The first sign of fall on campus isn't leaves turning colors, it's ground turning up. Last week, the SHIP facilities crew began the annual routine of pushing steam through the underground pipes to get ready to heat buildings. And each year, the crew discovers holes in the pipes. To fix them, they have to dig up the ground around the leak and weld the hole. This year, they found 2 big leaks requiring big digging like this one in Roland Hall's parking lot. The pipes are more than 20 years old, and chemicals used to clean the water corrode those pipes. Since miles of pipe run under campus, this job is never done, and each leak takes about a week to repair. This one should be fixed by next week.
The streets of New York have been full of protesters for a couple of weeks now. SUTV's Lucas Martin has information on the occupation.
Ryan Limes is an average everyday student. He goes to school, he studies, and he works a part-time job. But he has one thing that sets him apart from other students. Ryan is an activist for the Occupy Wall Street movement.
The About section is important, and it's nonviolent, it's basically leaderless, and it's turned into basically people who were upset initially, it's turned into everyone. Everyone's kind of realized that on their own means that there's something wrong and that they're affected.
Occupy Wall Street began as a protest against corporate corruption, but according to Derek Robinson, it has grown beyond its original aims.
It's become a rather eclectic movement of just general frustration with the state of the economy and the state of power that banking interests have.
I think that it kind of built upon that into this resistance movement where people were finally got uptight about the situation, got upset, and decided that they were going to go out and do something about it.
The protesters have no central leadership and call themselves the 99%, a reference to their opposition to the wealthiest 1% of the population. But this has the negative effect of giving them no real direction.
The thing that was good to get it off the ground is now the thing that's hurting them. They need something. It doesn't necessarily have to be a very specific goal list, but they need something to direct them.
The number one thing that the protesters need is support, and Ryan says that it begins with acknowledging your frustration.
It's a frustrating thing on any level, and I think that once you actually start to do a little research into it, you start to really ask yourself important questions about why the system works the way it does.
In the end, he says, it comes down to doing something now before something worse happens in the future.
I think if we can take 1 or 2 or 3 steps back now, so that we're not forced to take 10 or 15 or 20 steps back, I'd say that's a fair deal.
What is clear in all of this confusion is that the 99% is intent on having its voice heard. Lucas Martin, SUTV News.
Luke. And if you would like more information on the movement or to see how you could donate goods to the cause, visit OccupyWallStreet.org. The SU Women in Computer Science Club is making things happen on campus and in New York. The club spent the last 2 years making a programmable waterfall. The waterfall can say anything you'd like, usually things like hello world and yes. The women took home the Editor's Choice Blue Ribbon at the Maker Faire in New York City Hall of Science. The advisor, Dr. Alice Armstrong, hopes this will interest more students in joining the club.
Well, some students gripe about the new prices at the Cub and the new hours. SUTV's Dan Winnick reports.
668.
Welcome to the new Cub, where students can no longer get meal deals, late meals, or cheap meals. Dining Services Manager Nick Ayula says the bigger Cub required more staff and they couldn't afford to keep it opened at night.
It's very labor intensive to keep open. In fact, that area requires 7 more full-time bodies versus last year.
Chicken Dippity is currently the only late night option, but is plagued with long lines. The Student Senate heard students' complaints and is working on improvements, including extending the Cub hours.
We've had a couple people email our president as well as Nick stating that they don't understand why you can't get food in the evening.
Students will soon see a change in the Cub hours.
And when the students come back from fall break, the day that they come back, they will see that the Cub is going to be open to, I believe it's 12:30 at night.
Students with night classes and late night snackers will be able to enjoy a late night bite once again. Dan Winnick, SUTV News.
Thank you, Dan. The Cub will start its later hours next week.
Don't go away. Next on SUTV News, there's a room on campus that most students can't get into. We'll tell you why.
And it's the big question, jeans or shorts this weekend. Zach Briscoe will help you find the answer with your fall break forecast next. Welcome back to SUTV News. Last week it was freezing, and this week we've seen warmer temperatures and sunny skies, feeling like fall.
Yeah, I've been loving this nice weather. I hope we have more of it this weekend.
Zach Briscoe is here with the forecast. Hey, Zach.
Good evening, everybody. I'm forecaster Zach Briscoe. The sun has graced us with its presence, and we're hoping that continues in the next couple of days. Taking a look at your almanac, the average high this time of year is 69 degrees, average low is 47, record high of 89. Monthly precip is at 0.42, and the average is 2.95. Hopefully it's below average this month. That was way above average last month. As we head into tonight's forecast, cool conditions will be gracing us as we have clear skies, 38 degrees here in Shippensburg, 36 in Williamsport, a little warmer in Philadelphia at 46. As we head into Friday, we will see sunny skies gracing the region, 68 degrees in Shippensburg, and continue to warm up. As we look at national map, we have high pressure in control. That is bringing the warm conditions up from the Gulf, and it may also bring a tropical system up. We're going to have to watch that as we head into later next week. Taking a look at your 5-day forecast, we'll see continually warming up conditions, 68 degrees on Friday, almost 80 degrees by Sunday. So a very different story compared to last weekend. And as we head to Tuesday, 72 degrees and continued sunny. I'm forecaster Zach Briscoe. You have a great evening.
All right, thank you, Zach. The Student Union building belongs to the students, but as Chris Peterson discovers, one room is off limits to most students, and for good reason.
There's nothing unusual about Doug's Abrams walk on campus. It's like any other student, until you find out where he's going. He's helping himself to the Non-Traditional Student Lounge, a service offered by the Non-Traditional Student Organization for students who are older than the standard college student.
It has benefited me tremendously with the comfortable atmosphere and the homey-like presentation of other members.
These students who might have felt out of place on campus have a place to meet up with peers.
Acquaintances, and some of the acquaintances have helped me in some of my assignments.
The Non-Traditional Student Lounge opens Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m. to 9:45 p.m. And on Fridays, it's open at 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. However, the lounge is not open on the weekends for the students. And while these students could gather anywhere on campus, this place is only for them, without the classic, younger student around.
It's a nice place to go to just kind of chill out if I just need to chill out.
Any SHIP student over the age of 24 can be a part of the Non-Traditional Student Organization and get a place at this table. Chris Peterson, SUTV News.
And the Student Lounge is on the left corner of Nagle Hall across the street from the Franklin Science Center.
If you're looking for something to do this weekend, we got you covered. Entertainment correspondent Mandy Whaley is here. Hi, Mandy.
Hey, guys. For Twilight fans, Breaking Dawn Part 1 tickets are now on sale. The show will be November 18th. New movies are coming out this Friday. If you're looking for something to do over break, check out The Ides of March, Real Steel, The Human Centipede, and Dolphin Tale. Well, it's back to the hills for Kristen Cavallari after she was voted off Dancing with the Stars. Stay tuned next week to see who will make it through elimination. The Beach Boys are coming to Shippensburg next week. The group will perform at the Lurs Center. Tickets are selling fast, so get them while you can. APB just announced last week the fall concert will be the Plain White Tees. The concert is November 6th at 7 p.m. and the doors will open at 6. Tickets are on sale now at the Cub Info Desk for $20 with an ID, $30 for the general public. Have a great fall break. I'm Mandy Whaley.
Thanks, Mandy. Sean Gallagher has your sports update after the break.
Plus, one of the world's most innovative men has died.
Thanks for staying with us on SUTV News. A lot is happening in the world of Raider sports.
And Sean Gallagher has you covered on what the athletes are up to. Hey, Sean.
Well, coming off a tough loss to CW Post, the Red Raiders look to bounce back against 12th-ranked Kutztown. And there was no better opportunity to do this than on homecoming weekend with the alumni back on campus to see one of their own, Coach Mack, go for an upset in his first conference win. Kristen Wright recaps a cold, rainy day in Shippensburg that turned into a memorable game for the Red Raiders.
Side of the end zone to Zach Kenny, who will take it into the end zone. Zach Zulli is going to pitch the ball back, and it is thrown deep to number 2, Brian Barley, who will run it into the end zone for the touchdown. Zulli's going to pass the ball across the middle to Trevor Horman, who's going to take it in for the touchdown. Kutztown quarterback Kevin Morton getting chased by Red Raider defense. He doesn't know what to do. Attempts to throw across the middle, but it's intercepted by Red Raider Vinny Ronaldo. For SUTV Sports, I'm Kristen Wright.
Thanks, Kristen. Zach Zulli and Mike Fournette were not on homecoming court this past Saturday, but the two were kings of the gridiron against Kutztown. As a result, both were recognized as PSAC East Players of the Week. Zulli was 21 for 30 through the air for 295 yards and 4 touchdowns. On the ground, he ran 9 times for 55 yards and a score, giving him 5 for the game. Fournette ran for 75 yards and had 6 catches for 48 yards. Zulli, Fournette, and the rest of the Red Raiders will be back in action this Saturday as they host Westchester at Student Association Field at Seth Grove Stadium. Kickoff is at 1. Watch the game here on SUTV and listen on WSYC 88.7 FM. The Shippensburg Athletic Department is asking for your help to make Coach Mack the Liberty Mutual Coach of the Year. Every coach in Division II is eligible, so go to coachoftheyear.com/vote and cast your ballot for Shippensburg's coach Mark Macheski. As the field hockey team continues to thrive, recognition of the team's success continues to pour in. Bree White was named the PSAC West Player of the Week for the second time this season. The girls upset number 2 Westchester last Saturday with a 2-0 shutout. Yesterday, the girls took care of Seton Hill easily with a 4-1 victory. White and last week's Player of the Week, Christina Taylor, each had goals. The field hockey team is home this weekend as they take on Slippery Rock at 1 p.m. on Saturday. In cross-country news, senior Neely Spence was named PSAC Conference Women's Cross Country Athlete of the Week. Spence had a great showing at the Paul Short Run and placed second in the 6K Gold Race. This is the 7th time she has received this honor. Overall, a fantastic week for Shippensburg. For SUTV Sports, I'm Sean Gallagher.
A college campus is not the most diet-friendly place. SUTV reporter Amanda Peterson feels education is the best way to a better you.
We come to college for education, but learning about our future doesn't help our present. By this, I mean that our brains may be benefiting from the hours of studying that we put in, but your wellness could be suffering. SUTV will start airing a health segment next Thursday called Shaping Ship in 60 Seconds. We want to focus on helping students make decisions for overall healthy living. This segment will cover topics like fitness, nutrition, and anxiety, all issues that a majority of college students may face. Topics we'll look at include the famous freshman 15, has it turned into the sophomore 60? Also, we're going to look at how you can supercharge your fridge with cancer-fighting foods. Another idea that we'll discourage is that nutritious food is expensive. We will show you how to stay fit on a budget. And they say that time is money. We'll teach you how to manage both. These topics are a great start, but SUTV wants your input for more. Post your story ideas to facebook.com/SUTV News. Until next week, try improving your health by enriching your diet with fruits and vegetables. With fall in full effect, apples are my favorite nutritious treat. Until next week, I'm Amanda Peterson.
We look forward to all the healthy living tips.
He is the man who grew Apple out of a Silicon Valley garage and created the world's leading tech company. Now Apple chairman and former CEO Steve Jobs is dead. Some likened him to a modern-day Thomas Edison. Despite his understated appearances, he was legendary for his flair and showmanship. At just 20 years old, he created an Apple computer in his garage with friend Steve Wozniak. In 10 years, it grew into a $2 billion company with more than 4,000 employees. In 1984, Apple introduced the machine that literally changed lives forever, the Macintosh, and was the launching pad to more revolutionary devices like the iPod, the iPhone, and iPad. Steve Jobs was 56.
That's it for SUTV News. I'm Emily O'Shea. Don't forget to find us online at facebook.com/SUTV News.
And I'm Kyle Rogers. Have a safe fall break. We leave you tonight with words from the late Steve Jobs.
When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." It made an impression on me, and since then, for the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart.